voices bright, set your course for tales untold, entertainment pure and bold. Come aboard this journey, new stories fresh calling out to you. Saturdays are time to shine, positively Pat's lifeline. Positively Pat's Sim Show, every tale a treasure trove. Tune in now and set your sails, laughs and chats and wondrous tales. We ride the waves of joy and cheer, every week we're standing here. Everyone keeps spirits high, morning sun in every eye. From epic quest to daily news, listen up, there's much to choose. Every word a gem we share, Saturday we conquer air. Positively Pat's Sim Show, every tale a treasure trove. Tune in now and set your sails, laughs and chats and wondrous tales. We ride the waves of joy and cheer, every week we're standing here. Everyone keeps spirits high, morning sun in every eye. In every eye. In every eye. Positively Pat's Sim Show. Positively Pat's Sim Show. Positively Pat's Sim Show, every tale a treasure trove. Tune in now and set your sails, laughs and chats and wondrous tales. We ride the waves of joy and cheer, every week we're standing here. Everyone keeps spirits high, morning sun in every eye. In every eye.
Sims Nation, welcome to the Positively Patch Sims Show as we are live on WANT Radio and live streaming right here with our active and full live chat. Guys, if you want to jump on in and say hello, please do so in the live chat. And we want to hear from you. We want to hear your Saturday night's main event predictions, as well as jumping in and joining us during our doubleheader today, because we are going to be giving our predictions for tonight's show, but we're also going to be playing a little game that I'll tell you about later called the Wrestlemania Tournament. But I want to welcome our special guest today for our new time slot. Hopefully everyone's getting used to this and likes this, because we are no longer a 4-hour marathon every Saturday morning, 6 to 10 Pacific. We are now a 2-hour marathon. We're a 5K. We're a 2-hour 5K now of from 7 to 9 Pacific Standard Time, 10 to 12 Eastern. And we are strictly, from here on out, a pro wrestling show. And I'm super excited about that because I love pro wrestling. I have since I was a kid. And that passion and that love for it never went away. But let me introduce you guys to our special guest today. First of all, I want to introduce my co-host and the man who's going to be running the computer and giving us information and helping us run the show, ladies and gentlemen, my son, the one and only Seth Sims. Good morning, Seth.
Good morning.
Oh yeah, let me.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that I can turn your mic on now, but
Am I on yet?
you are.
Oh, I don't hear myself.
Well,
That's weird.
I can hear you very well.
I can't. That's weird. Whoa. I'm starting to hear myself.
Well, I'm adjusting your little cord here.
Oh, okay.
Is that better?
Yes, that's so much better.
All right. Perfect.
I can hear myself now.
But good morning, Seth. How are you?
Good. I think this will be the first time that the people see my new hair.
Yes. Well, kinda.
Kind of.
It's
It blends with the headphones.
Right. But Seth has dark black
very-
hair.
Yeah, I got black hair now.
All right.
It is not brown.
How was your Halloween?
Very good.
Yeah. And who were you dressed as?
Mr. Aizawa from My Hero Academia.
There you go. That's just I have nothing to help you with on that one. All right. And now let's get to our very special guests, ladies and gentlemen, from PCW and the YouTube sensation that is PCW Limelight, which will air, I believe, today, right? At noon Pacific Standard Time, 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Check out PCW Limelight every Saturday at noon, 3 p.m. But we have first the voice of PCW, the Diamond Standard, the man who is constantly going out and purposely trying to upset the plebeians. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Doc Haywood.
It's a wonderful All Saints Day to piss off the plebeians and the peasants. Good morning to you, Pat. Good morning, Seth. We got a great show today.
Yes, we do. And our other special guest, ladies and gentlemen,
Yes, sir.
Doc Haywood. I have been asked to allow you to do the honors on this one. Go for it, my friend.
Well, folks, you are in for a treat. We have today the two-time PCW champion standing at 6'4", 356 pounds. He is the king of the Pacific Northwest Stitched Match. He is the street mastodon. He is the nightmare. Sin.
Good morning, Sin.
Good morning.
Why did it didn't switch over to him?
I'm not Sin. It's
Yeah.
me. They're like, hey, where's Sin? It's just Doc, this colorful clad beautiful man, but still I'm not Sin. Sin is
Well, Sin,
technical difficulties.
I
Sin,
am here.
there he is.
Oh, there he is.
Sin,
Hey,
where are you coming from this morning? Where are you joining us from this morning?
Oroville, California.
Oh, where is
In my
that?
car because people are asleep.
And
We don't sleep here.
what
Yeah.
what kind of wrestling do we expect from Sin when we get you on PCW?
Expect violence.
Ooh.
Expect violence. I call myself too hard for TV and the Disneyland that is the big federations.
Now,
Yeah,
I'm
and let's just add to that. We actually got kicked out of the Orville Convention Center because of the kind of violence this man brings to his matches.
well,
That's
Sin,
very
Warned
good.
them. I warned them, and they didn't listen.
well, Sin, I got a question for you, brother. So,
What's up?
when you were growing up, were you always a pro wrestling fan? When did you get started in being a fan of pro wrestling?
I was a fan of wrestling since probably 6 years old.
Wow. And who would have been your biggest role model? Like, who is the guy you looked up to and said, I'm going to be like that guy?
As a kid, it was Hulk Hogan.
Right.
And then WrestleMania 6 happened. And then it was Sting, Ric Flair. Ron Simmons.
So a little more of the WCW guys.
Yeah, I switched over to WCW after WrestleMania 6.
Yeah. Well, I've told Doc this before, but I'm a fan of PCW. I love Limelight, and one of the things that I like to encourage people on, like when you check out PCW Limelight, which you really absolutely should do today at noon Pacific Standard Time, the best compliment that I've been able to give it is that it reminds me a lot of the heyday of world-class championship wrestling. Great in-ring action, great characters, and I love the way you guys present storylines. It like I said, it really does remind me of World Class, and that is to me, that's a high compliment because World Class had some of the best pro wrestling television on during the 70s and 80s, for sure.
For sure.
So, all right, guys, we are getting into our predictions for Saturday night's main event before we head into our WrestleMania tournament game that we're going to play. And Seth,
I noticed you snuck yourself in there to the everybody page.
What?
You snuck yourself your Halloween.
Oh, my Halloween costume. Yes,
You
that is
snuck it in
my.
there.
I did. That is my costume from last night. That is the Superman costume from Batman v Superman. There is a difference between that one and Man of Steel. This one has the little swoop that goes through the S that I really like that they added into that. And the belt section, which it's not really a belt, but that part's a little bit different. The lines on the arms are a little different. And this costume in general is just better than the Man of Steel.
Yeah, you don't have to take it off entirely to go to the restroom. There's actually a
there's a
zipper.
zipper at the crotch area. Yeah, that's nice.
You can't go poop, though.
Thank you. Well, you can. It's just not pleasant for anyone involved.
Wear it backwards.
There you go. There you go. All right, guys. So Seth, it's up on you now. Let's get into Saturday night's main event. What match are we predicting first?
All right. First up is Drew McIntyre versus Cody Rhodes. for the
Drew versus Cody.
undisputed WWE Championship.
All right. Is there any information we need to know?
Quick background.
Okay.
Rhodes got himself disqualified in a recent impromptu match between the two and SmackDown, which restored the belt to McIntyre, which fueled his ongoing frustration. Whoa. Will uncharacteristic decisions like that be the champion's downfall? So McIntyre's made it clear that this is his story and not Rhodes' story, and he is aiming to win back the title for the first time since 2021. Who walks out with the title, and could Randy Orton play a role? These are just a few of the merry questions heading into this clash between the two rivals.
All right. Well, let's start with Sin. What do you think about this one?
I think it's hard to sit there and say that they're gonna put the strap on to Drew McIntyre, especially this close to Survivor Series.
Right.
And it's a Saturday night's main event. And thinking about what the main event is, they could pull the trigger and give it to him, which it'd be fine. But then I think if they did, it'd probably be a very short title reign for Drew.
Right.
You know,
Who deserves better?
Yeah, exactly. I think he's a big match guy, and you know, I think that I think just personally, I think that he deserves a longer reign. You know,
Yeah.
And I think that if he got it, he would probably drop it back to Cody at Survivor Series or Royal Rumble, for that matter.
Yeah.
I don't see him taking it all the way to WrestleMania.
If this were the Attitude Era, he'd drop it to Monday night on Raw.
If this was the Attitude Era, he'd drop it on Raw to Hornswoggle.
There you go. There you go. All right, Doc. What are your thoughts on this, and what's your prediction? Cody versus Drew.
Well, you know, I've definitely been more invested in Drew's story than I have Cody's. because Drew was that COVID champion.
Yeah.
He got screwed over by circumstances. His WrestleMania moment to an empty arena, and I've been waiting for him to have a good title run. Um, but it. I don't want it to start here at a Saturday night's main event. I
Yeah.
want him to get that WrestleMania moment,
Right.
whether he's a heel or a babyface, get booed out of the building, get cheered, whatever it is. So, yeah, I don't want Drew to win the belt here. I want him to win it where it's going to be, where it's going to matter and be significant. And I think if you're telling Drew's story, you're going to have that in mind. So I wouldn't have Drew drop the belt tonight,
Now, do you think Drew's
or
gonna
Cody.
when Drew gets that moment, like you said, like a WrestleMania type of moment, winning the title? Is it as a heel, or does he deserve that big baby face moment?
Well, if it were me, I would want to get booed out of the building because, like Eric Bischoff said one time, I have heel needs.
Right.
I have the need to push people's buttons. So I would want, and maybe Drew's like that. Maybe he would rather get booed out of the building for screwing over Cody or whoever. So yeah, I hope maybe he does get it as a heel. He seems to be having fun with this run more than he has with any other run he's done.
Right. Seth, what do you think?
I'm gonna go with Cody.
So we got 3 Codys going here. Well, the chat seems to feel a little bit different. Universal, our buddy Universal, who's in Toronto for the World Series, working on the World Series, which is going into Game 7 tonight after a Dodger victory last night. Universal says, new champ, Drew McIntyre, hint, with outside interference. We've also got another vote for Drew, but not on his own. So, again, I think that kind of plays into, though, dropping it. This feels like when you drop it on a television, televised event like Raw or SmackDown, or because Saturday night's main event, let's be fair, is just a step above that.
Mm-hmm.
If even that, because Raw is Netflix and Raw is going to be seen by probably a lot more people than Saturday night's main event, which is Peacock.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't even know if we can say that it's a step above that, but I feel like that's a short-term deal.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to put Drew in that spot. If Randy's the guy that's going to make it happen as outside interference, you might get Cody spending 1 month avenging that against Randy, and then the next month he starts his run back towards Drew, or he gets the belt back immediately from Drew and then feuds with Randy. Saturday night's main event is ESPN. Oh, I don't know why I got a thing on Peacock that said it was going to be there.
Maybe it's still.
It's on Peacock in the U.S.
Yeah, in the U.S. it's Peacock because that's NBC Universal, and I think Saturday night's main event is still because I know when I went on to Peacock it was there.
It's probably still transferring since they're still going to ESPN.
Well, because Saturday night's main event is not technically a PLE.
I guess so.
It is like a special, right? It's like that was a PLE would be more like, Survivor Series or something like that. So yeah, but I think outside the US it's Netflix, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Seth, you should be able to see on your little thing there you can verify that for me if you want. But my vote is Cody. I am voting Cody retains tonight, but perhaps sets up a closing feud, or maybe even some kind of triple threat or something like that for Survivor Series with Orton, Cody, and Drew. And Survivor Series is going to be down here in my neck of the woods, a little south of here in a little town called San Diego. And it's going to be at a big stadium. It's not going to be an arena show, so it's going to be in a big stadium. They're going to present, I think, Survivor Series in a big way. So that could be an interesting moment if that's when they decide to pull the trigger on Drew.
Yeah.
All right, Seth, what do you got?
Yes, it is on Netflix outside of the U.S., along with, I found out, a lot of stuff that's mainstreamed on other platforms like Peacock and all that. Outside of the U.S., those are also broadcasted on Netflix since
Yes.
they're not as popular.
Yeah,
So
Netflix
pretty much-
outside the U.S. got everything.
Yeah, outside the U.S., they get almost everything.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's get on to the next matchup. Seth, what do you
Really
got?
quickly, I think I
Yes.
missed it. What was your vote?
Cody.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, I'm sticking. So we're basically Cody across the board here on the show. So Seth, what's the next matchup?
Our next matchup is Penta versus Rusev and Dominic Mysterio in a triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship.
All right, Doc, let's start with you this time. Your thoughts on this one?
Ooh, this is a tough one for me to parse out. Rusev, he hasn't had too much since he returned to WWE in terms of victories. He's kind of been on a losing streak.
Right.
Penta is certainly very hot still. And then you got the phenomenon, this dirty Dominic Mysterio, who can explain the power of the mullet this guy has,
Yeah,
man.
man.
There's something about mullets. We got a mullet guy in PCW now, Johnny Fuego, and I can't explain the power of this kid's mullet, but he seems to attract all the grandmas. I'm gonna have to go with the mullet and say Dom pulls it out. This guy always finds a way, and so I think Dom's gonna win today.
All right. I'm going to go next. Here's the deal. Penta has been a consistent performer on Raw. I feel like almost every week he's involved in some kind of matchup, something like that. And Dominic is there's a change happening here. I feel like the audience doesn't hate him like they did. But I love Dominic as a heel, and I would love to see Dominic get that heel heat back. So if Dominic were to win tonight, Dominic, I think, needs to do something to get the fans not to go crazy and cheer for him when the match is over. That's just my opinion. I like Dominic as the despicable, heel that gets booed, can't get a word in, and just gets booed out of the building. However, that is not my prediction. Because my prediction, I am voting with my heart. And my heart wants Penta to take this one. And it's probably wrong. But sometimes you got to vote with your heart. And I am a big Penta fan. And I want to see Penta walk away with that Intercontinental title tonight. So I'm going Penta. Sin, let's get your predictions for tonight's triple threat. I know I didn't even talk about Rusev. and I'm okay with that. Sin, what is your thought on this triple threat matchup?
This is probably the hardest one to predict because they brought Rusev back to such a huge reaction, and they haven't been doing with him anything. They haven't been doing anything with him since.
Right.
A couple little feuds here and there with randoms, but I don't know if they're gonna try to book him strong. But then also the fact that they put a triple threat on this tells me that they're gonna try to keep somebody strong.
Yeah.
Penta has been just a utility worker since he's been in the Fed, and they might pull the trigger with him tonight. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But then there's the other side. the GOAT, Dominic Mysterio, and the mullet, and the mustache, and the cowskin boots. Right now he's red hot.
Yeah.
And to get to your point about them starting to cheer him, that's called being so good at your job that they cannot deny you.
Right.
You know?
100%.
And I almost feel like he has there. I don't know what he could do right now to get the fans to turn back on him, other than ripping Penta's mask off. But even then, if they're not in a lucha libre town, you know, to where they understand the significance of that, I don't even think that would get him the heel heat to bring him back. And I don't know what they're gonna have to do. Right now, I don't see him losing. I don't see him losing the strap anytime soon. And I almost feel like what they would need to do would be to either have him sneak a win on Penta, because it's not going to hurt Penta if Penta takes the fall.
No.
I think it would hurt Rusev more if he took the fall, because of how strong he's been trying to go at it and failing every time because of other stuff happening. But I feel like if he took the fall, then that does weaken him, you know, as a viable contender.
Right.
I think Penta and Dom, you can run that as many times as Cena and Orton. You know,
I'd watch it.
I just think, oh yeah, definitely, that's WrestleMania worthy. I just don't think that they pull the trigger with it at Saturday night's main event.
All right. Fair enough. Seth, what are your thoughts?
I'm going with Penta.
Seth's going Pentas. We got 2 Dirty Doms, 2 Pentas. I do have a quick question. Sin, let me get your thoughts on this. Then, Doc, I want to get real quick. Rusev. Rusev came in, immediately gets that, you know, he gets that reaction like, oh my gosh, Rusev's back. We're maybe hoping for a little Rusev Day. Nope, we're getting heel Rusev. There was something just wasn't clicking with it, and I feel like right now he's kind of in this tweener stage where I think they're going to try to let the fans dictate where Rusev goes from here. What are your guys' thoughts? Sin, let's start with you.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like they wanted him to come back and do the Rusev Day and then turn and be a heel, but the fans will dictate, you know, whether or not you're a heel or a face sometimes.
Right.
You know, and so if they put him on a trajectory of a heel run, you know, but the fans are cheering for him, then you become stagnant.
Yep.
You know, because you're trying your hardest to do heel stuff, and the fans just won't let you. You know, and so I think that they need to pivot and just let him do the Rusev Day. Let him go out there, be a monster. That's what the fans want, and just let it happen organically.
All right. Doc, your thoughts, but also let me add to that. What if we bring Lana back into the picture?
Hell no.
No? Doc, what do you think?
Hell no.
Well, I know bringing Lana back into the picture would make a lot of fans thirsty, and I know there are fans that are there for it.
You got Seth on that one.
I mean, that's the appeal there. Yeah, I want to bounce off what Sin was saying, because the great thing about pro wrestling, more than any other form of entertainment, more than movies, more than sports, are how much power the fans have.
Yep.
And it's an incredible amount of power and control they have over how the story flows and who these characters are. And I think the smartest option generally is listen to the fans and give the fans what they want, unless you can figure out, oh, they saying they want this. but they really want this. And it looks like WWE's trying to say, well, the fans really want this with Rusev, but the fans are saying, no, we don't want that. They did it for a long time with Roman, and they finally figured it out, turned Roman heel from the feckless babyface. So do the same with Rusev. I mean, we want Rusev Day. Bring back gosh, what was the dude's name who came out with him? It was I want to say Aiden
Oh,
Andrews,
the
but that's the
English.
kid on the All Day
Wasn't
Crew.
it the
Yeah.
English dude? Yeah, he would
Aiden English.
Aiden English,
Aiden
yeah.
English, there we go. Yeah, bring that guy back. That that was a lot of fun. That was a great gimmick. I think that's kind of what the fans were hoping when Rusev came back. So lean into that. Lean into that.
All right. There we go, guys. The chat, we've got our buddy Universal. Well, first of all, my wife thinks Penta. And Universal says Dominic retains tonight. And here's his prediction here. Then Dominic versus Cena at Cena's second to last match, in which Cena wins the Intercontinental title and then faces Gunther in his last match, losing the title to Gunther in Cena's final match. Interesting. We'll touch up on that at another time.
Don't worry, I've got a whole page for Universal notes.
Yeah. And so we'll touch up on that one on a different show here.
I've also got
I want to keep rolling.
I've got the total votes for each person in each match based on comments as well.
All right. Very good. All right, Seth, next matchup. What do you got?
Next matchup, Jade Cargill versus Tiffany Stratton for the WWE Women's Championship.
All right, so the newly heel Jade Cargill, which I think was I think that was very much needed for the character. I think Jade would do very well as a dominant heel in the women's division. And I think that even despite some of Jade's shortcomings in the ring, I think you can hide that with a heel character a lot better than you can with a babyface. And I think, obviously I'm going first here. So I think that Jade walks away tonight as the new women's champion. I think we begin the run of a dominant women's champ in Jade Cargill, and I'm here for it until I think the return of, I could be wrong, but I think Bianca Belair would be a great choice to take that offer, or a returning Naomi after she has her. That could be a long run for Jade, but could you imagine Jade goes on a generational run as the women's champ, and a returning Naomi after having her child comes back and takes it back? There's some of that doesn't make much sense because Naomi's the one that attacked Jade in the first sense, but fans were going to be so excited to see Naomi back when she does eventually return. Unfortunately, this is what we get in the chat. Unfortunately, Jade wins. Jade's previous 2-year contract ended. She signed a new contract, and the heel turn is the start of the new contract. I don't care why it started. It's the right choice. Now, whether it's the right choice to put the title on her or not, I don't know. That's not something that I can predict because I just think that it is right now, based on what I see. Seth, what are your thoughts on this one?
I also went with Jade.
And 2 for Jade. Sin, let's go with you, buddy. What do you got for this one? Jade versus Tiffany Stratton for the Women's WWE Championship.
I would have liked to have a longer, heel turn build up
right
to this match.
Agreed.
Rather than just a week. But I think it's the right call. I think Jade could do better as a heel. It would allow her more freedom to talk a little reckless and let the gimmick get over a lot more than trying to do movesets that she's not ready for. So I would like her to win it. I would like her to take the title. I would also like to see Tiffy go heel because I mean she's a much better heel than she is a face.
Agreed. I 100% I agree.
If they started a little feud after that, going into the Rumble, you know, and then I'd like to see just fantasy booking Jade and Bianca at WrestleMania.
Yep.
I think that's just my own personal booking there. I'd like to see that match. But yeah, all in all, I'd like to see Jade win.
So the reason I think I really like the idea of Bianca and Jade, especially at a WrestleMania type of event, is I think Bianca can carry Jade to probably her best match. I that's not to say Naomi can't or anything like that, but there are very few in this business that can carry middle of the road wrestlers to the upper echelon. I think Charlotte Flair is one of those who can do that, and I think Bianca Belair 100% could do that.
Yeah,
for her.
I agree.
And speaking of Tiffany, really quickly, if I could throw this in there, this is exactly why we got a lot of people that I've been hearing that talk about that Tiffany's run as champ as a babyface just hasn't been working for them. And for me, I think it goes back to WrestleMania. And what I thought should have happened was Charlotte Flair should have taken the title from Tiffany. Then you put Tiffany chasing the title. Tiffany never chased the title, really. She had the Money in the Bank briefcase and teased it a lot. That's not the same as going on the chase, right? Stone Cold chasing the title was exciting. If Stone Cold had been holding a Money in the Bank briefcase, you're like, oh, is this the night he cashes in? But it's not the same, right?
Right.
Have Tiffany chase, and I think we may be having a different conversation right now. But that didn't happen. And right now, more people are super over with Charlotte and Alexa Bliss than they are anything Tiffany.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Doc, let's get your thoughts on this matchup here, Tiffany versus Jade.
Well, unless your name is Hulk Hogan, it's really difficult to pull off a long babyface run with a belt. The idea is the babyface is someone who's going to gain sympathy, who's the underdog, and if you have a babyface with a belt for the long time, it's going to get stale. And Tiffany's run with this belt has felt very stale and very unexciting. And I think turning Jade Cargill into a monster heel for the women's division. Hopefully she's not going to cause as many injuries as the last monster heel, Nia Jax. Holy moly. But the women's division needs a good monster heel with a championship run, and I think Jade Cargill can pull it off.
Yeah.
I think WWE probably sees the same thing, and so I got to agree with the rest of you. I think we're going to see Jade walk away with the belt, and yeah, I hope we get a nice run with her as a monster heel, and I do hope we can get a match with her with someone like Bianca, so that she can have like that match that Goldberg had with Diamond Dallas Page at Halloween Havoc. That was Goldberg's best match.
The one that went off the air?
The one that went off the air, but everyone got to see it the next Monday on Nitro.
Right, after they
got huge.
After they got their refunds, yeah.
Yeah, and I personally, I think that match more than any other match made Goldberg.
Oh, yeah.
We saw him tear ass, but this was the first time he had a challenge, someone who took him to the limit, and he came through, and I was like, wow, this guy can work. I was saying 20 years ago as a fan, and now I'm going, wow, Dallas really elevated that dude and made him look amazing. And so Jade needs that. She needs that, and I want to see her have that down the road. So let's put the belt on her and give her a real good match with Bianca at Mania.
Yep, love it. Lastly, the one thing I do want to say, I want to comment on something Sin said about that. He would have preferred a Jade if the heel turn had been a little bit longer, in the build up to this thing. And I definitely agree with that. And one of the things that has been a bit of a concern for me with WWE is when the Triple H era kind of kicked in, I felt like originally that we were going to get a lot more long-term storytelling. And we were, and I still feel like they're trying to do that, but I feel like they're being very reactionary lately. It's like, oh, this isn't working, so let's not try to play the long game here, because sometimes things take time to develop. They're just like, oh, no, boom, let's just switch gears and go here. Let's just switch gears and go here, right? I don't know. That might just be me, but I'm feeling like we should be at a point, because we're coming up to the end of the year, which means we're getting close to the Rumble season, which gets us into WrestleMania. And Survivor Series, to me, is still an important PLE. I've always been a big Survivor Series guy. I miss the traditional Survivor Series matches. My favorite Survivor Series is still 1990, the debut of The Undertaker, where they actually had a final match of survival, which I do talk about on my Honest Review show. I have one of the 1990 Survivor Series where I do mention how it's like, how convenient that all the heels are on one side and all the baby face. Like, who made that decision in reality of who's on one side and who's on the other? But it was so much fun, that Survivor Series style matchup, and now it's more War Games. It's basically Survivor Series War Games. So, which, I mean, I'm cool with that too. War Games it took WWE way too long to bring the Dusty Rhodes classic match of War Games into the fold. But Vince is very stubborn. He doesn't like to give any opposition any credit for anything. So, but Seth, what do you got? What's the next thing?
Last one, CM Punk versus Jey Uso for the vacant World Heavyweight Championship.
Right. And I'm sure there's going to be some other stuff on Saturday. There's usually some filler on Saturday night's main event, but match-wise, CM Punk. Seth, you get to start this time.
I'm going with Jey Uso.
Seth's going with Jey. Any reason why, or are you just yeeting all over the place?
I like the story of Jey Uso more than I do CM Punk.
I think right now what they're doing with Jey is very interesting. Like, I'm really wondering where they're going with Jey.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I think this is one of those where I feel like there is a plan in place and I think Roman's involved, the original Bloodline's involved, but I think this is also an opportunity to let the crowd dictate how far this goes, where this ends up. So it's going to be interesting here. Sin, what are your thoughts on this one? CM Punk versus Jey Uso and the storyline we got going here.
See, this goes back to what we were talking about, the chase. I feel like both of them have been chasing this title for so long. And both of them right now are at the peak of their story, but they're not necessarily at the peak. They're still on the uphill swing of their story.
Yep.
So they both can go higher and higher and higher. I feel like either way, I'm okay with it. But I think the more interesting story is the Jey Uso turning into Baby Roman.
Mm-hmm.
And the feuding with his brother and his brother trying to stop him from becoming Roman. I think
Yeah.
we may end up seeing that again of Jimmy going overboard trying to stop him and actually costing him the match. On the flip side of that, it's like we want to cheer for CM Punk because again, the chase. He's chasing the title. You know, his first run was only what, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, we want to see him with the title, but where does it go after that?
Right.
You know, if he wins the title, then who does he face at Survivor Series? Does he face Jey Uso again, or does Jey Uso go into a different storyline and then come back for the title at a different time if they give him another shot at it? You know, because you also got to remember Gunther's coming back eventually.
Right.
You know, and so when he comes back, how does that change the story? You know, eventually Seth Rollins is coming back. You know, you gotta incorporate the Vision into this picture too, because they've had such a big role in the storyline of the World Heavyweight title.
Oh yeah.
You know, so do they get involved? You know, there's so many X factors here that
LA Knight.
This match is probably the only reason why I'm watching Saturday night's main event.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
You know,
Yep.
this is the only story that I've been invested in.
Right.
You know, so if I go with my heart, I say Jey Uso. And if I go with my brain, I also say Jey Uso, because I want to see CM Punk chase it and get that big match feel and win it at the big one.
Right. And I'm right there with it. My wife trying to CM Punk better be champ. My wife has been really wanting a CM Punk victory for a long time, and there have been two moments where I really thought I'm going to lose my wife as a wrestling fan, because WrestleMania 40 made my wife a wrestling fan, the whole Cody Rhodes story, and that's how powerful that was. And so well done. My wife was like, oh, I get it now. And I'm like, yes, my wife's a fan. Then John Cena turns, and my wife was so mad, she left and went for a walk, and she just, like, my kid, Seth, remembers.
Yeah.
She was legit pissed off. And then SummerSlam happens, and CM Punk wins the World Heavyweight title from Gunther, only for Seth Rollins to cash in and take it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we've lost her. She's gone. And so
All of a sudden you hear luggage bags snapping and
yeah, it's
plane tickets being bought. Yeah.
it was bad. But the thing is I've enjoyed the ride. That's basically how I am. I enjoy the ride. I nitpick where I want, but I do just kind of let WWE do its thing. Its job is to entertain me. And I'm always like, I don't take anything personal, and I don't get too mad, because I hope there's a reason why things happen. The only thing about this match here is that I'm a little concerned. Punk, I thought the end game was Punk versus Rollins at a WrestleMania type of event, because that's the heat. That is where that feud can erupt, and you put on the right stipulation. I think, don't do a Triple H versus Randy Orton at WrestleMania 25 deal where you have all this animosity and then you handcuff them, right? You do something where they can legit just beat the living hell out of each other. And I think you have the way of putting the title on Punk in a meaningful way. But now that might be out of the equation, because Rollins has been taken out by the Vision, who are still heels. So when Rollins comes back, is he coming back as a heel, or is he coming back as a baby face? And if that works, where does Punk sit in all this? So there's so many things up in the air now with this. But, Doc, let's get your thoughts and predictions. We're going to get to the chat here in just a second, and then I'll give my prediction on where this goes. Doc, go for it.
Oh, there's so many moving parts with this storyline. Like you guys were saying, we've got division involved in this. On the peripheries. CM Punk's been chasing this for a while. Jey Uso, we've been teasing a heel turn with this guy. What do you do if you're WWE and you're TKO and you've got all this stuff going on? Do you resolve it or do you deepen it? And I think they're going to take the opportunity to deepen the storyline. I don't think you resolve things tonight. So I think this match is actually going to end in a no contest or a double disqualification or a double count out. I think Vacant walks away with the title for just a little bit longer so that WWE can stretch this bad boy out and really milk it for all it's worth.
That's not a bad idea. That, I'm not a stickler for a lot of things. Like, yes, I think at WrestleMania, you shouldn't have your opening match. I'm looking at you, WrestleMania 2, as a count out, a double count out, right? Like, that's a sucky way to start a WrestleMania. But if you have this match end in some kind of no contest, double count outs suck, but double disqualification or something like that, or outside interference where they just got to call it, right? You got the bloodline stuff, you've got the Vision stuff, you've got LA Knights still involved in this kind of thing. So there's a lot going on here. I'm okay if the night ends with no World Heavyweight Champion and take this into Survivor Series. Or beyond that, imagine what if this leads to some kind of, I don't think it will, but what if this leads to a War Games match and the World Heavyweight title gets put on the line after that? I mean, again, it's about storytelling. And the long-term storytelling is always better than the short-term, than the instant gratification. And that's why I say, like, in today's society, it's all about instant gratification. You have in your pocket the means to do whatever you need in any moment. You want to know what's going on the other side of the globe? Pull out your phone. You'll figure it out. You've got cameras, video cameras. You've got games, movies, television. Everything you want is right in your pocket at any given moment. The days of having to wait a week to watch the next episode of your favorite show, like, anticipation, wondering what's going to happen next. There is literally nothing like that. Anticipation is I love it. Like the build up to going to Disneyland gave me goosebumps. The build up to putting on that Superman suit gave me goosebumps. But I was also terrified because I didn't know exactly how I was going to look. I trained for a long time to get in that suit. But long-term storytelling is where it's at for me. And I'm going to go with I like this. I'm changing. Doc has kind of got me to change my prediction. I'm saying that we end the night with no World Heavyweight Champion. I want to see that story go longer over time. And I want to get into the chat real quick because we've had a lot of people chiming in on the chat. So we've got new champ CM Punk. So we got a vote for Punk in the chat. Jey Uso with outside interference from someone in the bloodline. My wife, of course, CM Punk better be champ. And Universal says that CM Punk has been put into all of Seth's previously scheduled slots. That Seth is gone until Backlash 2026. That's a long time to be out.
And there's one more about him.
Yeah, I'm getting there. CM Punk should have stayed out of WWE. I'm not going there. I'm not going there. I think he should have stayed away from AEW. But that's just me. And I remember, and I got to get this out. I don't want AEW to fail, by the way. I don't. I want AEW to succeed. The problem is that I was rooting for them for a while, and it just the way they've handled a lot of things has just really turned me off to the promotion in general. And I think both companies, I prefer when both companies just focus on themselves. I don't need to hear, oh, WWE bots. I don't need to hear, WWE sucks. I hate WWE. And I also don't like to hear it from WWE side. I don't find it funny when Triple H makes a knock at AEW or any other promotion. I really don't. Right. And I remember I would call Vince out back in the day when he would be, oh, we worry about us. I go, really? So tell me how those Billionaire Ted sketches started and why you did Nacho Man and the Huckster. Yeah, that's you focused on you. Yeah, no. So, but I throw that out there because a lot of people turned on AEW with the Punk situation, and I was one of them. I thought that to me, and just seeing how Punk has been in WWE tells me that what happened over there, it wasn't just Punk being a jerk. There was some legitimate issues over there that need to be corrected, and I really hope they do. I really hope that AEW gets on track and doesn't average 1,500 to 2,000 people for their shows. I want to see them back to when we went to AEW back in Georgia, and it was a pretty full house. Now they do marathon tapings, which suck, but like it was like sitting through WrestleMania 35 when we went. It just felt like it was never going to end. But all right, double disqualification, and it's Survivor Series Bloodline versus The Vision. We've got, for wrestling fans as a whole, both companies succeeding is the best case scenario. Absolutely. And we kind of touched on that last week when we talked about WWE versus WCW. You know, that feud brought out the best in both companies. And I'm pretty sure AEW and WWE will never work together like TNA and WWE are working together. And I think competition is great for the business. It's great for the industry. It will be Bloodline versus Vision with Punk and Jey as teammates. So it makes no sense that neither wins the title. One of them has to win the title tonight. Have to build Survivor Series with a champ going in. Seth, what are you giggling about?
So my thing's a little late, so I can't. It's gonna look a little weird because it's a late reaction, but I'm just watching what Doc is doing. I'm just watching him look up at you and then like, ooh, and then like, he's just making strange faces.
I mean, you're not too delayed, are you? Like you're
not
what?
too delayed. It's only a couple seconds.
Right. Yeah, because
Yeah.
this is the only issue. So if we airplay, like if I airplay like the screen over to the MacBook, we've been through this. It causes our feed to stutter really bad.
Yeah.
So Seth is watching the show on the iPad on YouTube. And so, but now that we've upgraded our internet back to very fast internet, wired internet here, the delay is
A lot less.
yeah. You're just a couple seconds off.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So that is our and kind of perfect timing.
I just need
here.
a quick recap on Sin and Doc's votes for this match. Just a quick recap.
Okay, so Doc, well, what was your official prediction so Seth can write it down?
For this match, it's no contest, double DQ.
Right.
It's a
No one wins. No one
Alrighty.
wins, but we except us. We all win.
Yeah.
All right, Sin, and what was your official prediction for this matchup?
After Doc gave his opinion, I started thinking about it, and I'm gonna go ahead and go no contest.
Ooh.
I think the Vision is gonna come down and interfere and attack both of them, and cause it to get thrown out. I feel like Paul Heyman is playing the long game
Yeah.
with Seth Rollins coming back. I think the whole them turning on him is a ploy because I've seen it too many times,
Yep.
and I don't trust anything. Um, so I can honestly see them getting involved in messing up the finish.
All right, sounds
And,
good.
Alrighty.
Yeah. So
All right, guys, so that's perfect timing.
Yeah.
We got through our
Really
predictions.
quickly, I have
from
the popular votes for the predictions.
Oh, okay.
So
What do you got?
for our first match, Cody and Drew, we have 5 votes for Cody and 2 votes for interference, Drew McIntyre. For Penta, Dom, and Rusev, we have a 4-3. Penta having 4, Dom having 3. And for Jade versus
Rusev?
Tiffany,
No.
Rusev gets nothing.
Yeah.
Jade got 7-0 against Tiffany.
To blow out.
And then for Punk and Jay, we originally had an interference Jay vote by Lewis, but he switched to no one once everybody started going off. So we have 4 for nobody, 2 for Punk, and 1 for Jay.
All right. Let's hear it for nobody. Congratulations, nobody.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Every
here's the thing. So Seth got to keep his facial hair for his character. Every time I look up and I
Yeah.
see me, I feel weird. I haven't had no facial hair in a long time, but I went for it. I'm not confident in my chin, but I went for it.
You're the only person this entire live without facial hair.
Right.
Everyone else has at least something.
Well, I'm a gorgeous man. You do what you gotta do. All right, guys. So we're gonna that was perfect. 1 hour, and we've got our predictions into the second hour of the show, and we're gonna play a fun little game here. Well, I hope it's fun. I've never tried it. It just popped into my head, and I thought, let's do that. And but speaking of getting into this WrestleMania tournament that we're gonna do here, the official poster and little teaser for WrestleMania 42 came out this week that showed Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, and CM Punk playing poker. And behind them is Triple H and Paul Heyman. Now, nothing there seems all that shocking or crazy other than the fact that there's no Rhea Ripley in there. There's some missing characters here, but I think that this is just part 1. I'm sure there's going to be more. But what did really interest me, I don't know if anybody caught this, is right in front of Triple H is a little doll of the Demon Finn Balor. Did anybody else catch that? Doc nodding his head, yes.
Yeah.
Now, what do you?
Yeah, I saw someone posted on Facebook, and they made a mention of, oh, look, it's the Finn Balor demon.
Now I know he's brought it out in. Didn't he bring it out for that AAA event? Yeah, where it was him and the iguana dude.
yeah,
So
that was great.
yeah, it was. I'm kind of hoping that that's what that means. That we're going to see the actual puppets again. And not that we're getting I mean, I would love to see the return of Demon Finn Balor, don't get me wrong, but I'll go back to WrestleMania 39, which is the one that Seth and Owen and I went to. We went to night 1 of 39, which was the better of the 2 nights. And the last time I remember seeing the Demon Finn Balor was WrestleMania 39, and that was another one I thought was the wrong decision. To have the Demon lose to Edge. I thought the Demon should have won that night. Edge didn't need that win. Edge was very close to being on his way out. And so I thought the Demon should have taken it. And I think those are those moments where you think like, man, Finn Balor may be in a different spot right now had that gone a different way. Mm-hmm. But I'm just throwing that out there. I just thought it was very interesting that the puppet was in the shot. Did not expect that, and I didn't notice it right away. It took me a couple views where I'm looking for little details, and then it just bam, hit me in the face. So, all right, this is what we're going to do. So, we're going to try something a little different here. Sin and Doc have, or should have, come up with their favorite WrestleManias. And what we're going to do is Seth's basically going to be my go-to guy right now. Seth's going to kind of run the show a little bit. I am going to take my headphones off so that I don't know who's picking what. And Seth's going to ask one of them to give him a WrestleMania, and then the other, and why. And then Seth is going to signal me to put my headphones back on. And he's not going to tell me who picked what. He's going to tell me the WrestleManias that I have to choose between. And whoever gets the most points at the end of the show will be declared the winner. And I haven't decided exactly what the prize is going to be, but it might be something like this Positively Pat Sims t-shirt, a Positively Pat Sims hat, something from our merch store, right? We will have some kind of prize for the winner. I just haven't decided it yet because anything that has to do with money has got to go through the boss, who is over here off to the side, my wife. So, Doc,
the CEO.
Doc, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I do.
All right, so here we go. I'm going to take off my headphones.
So really quickly, I just need to mention, I saw an ad on the WWE page about AI, and I swear it has to be made by AI because it said 45 out of 100 was more than halfway on a progress bar. It was like 0, 45, 100.
That sounds about right. I mean, it could. I mean, it actually, knowing a lot of young people that I know today, I could see that not being AI just as much. Oh, no offense, young people, but there's some of you that need to pay attention in school. Stop using Chat GPT for your homework. Seth, I'm going to take off my headset now. Let me see. If I were the financial boss, I'd know a prize giveaway to begin with. Oh, you'd know of the prize giveaway. Well, yeah, but
Stop eating Tide Pods. What?
I
don't know where that came from, but that's pretty good.
Thank you, TikTok. All right. I'm going to take off my headphones now. Seth, you're going to take over. Signal me when you're ready to go.
Yes.
This is basically where I turn into me from 2 weeks ago when Seth and
With
Ashton
Godzilla and
were talking about
King Kong.
Power Rangers that I know nothing about. So I'm just back here playing with my toys and stuff.
Yeah.
So, all right, Seth, I'm going to take my headphones off now. I cannot hear anything. I'm keeping the volume down, so go take it away, Seth. I can't, I promise you.
Alrighty.
If I could, then you'll know if I can because Doc won't get any points.
Alrighty. So I'm going to ask one
You
of
gotta
you.
check his ear for earpieces.
I'm going to ask one of you to go first, and then from now on, I will call that first person Person A and the second person Person B. So who would like to go first?
Doc?
Oh, I'll let it be you.
Okay,
I'll let it be you.
I
I
gotta
always
turn my
I always
headphones
defer to your judgment.
All right. WrestleMania 8.
All right. And why WrestleMania 8? Wait, yeah, why that one?
Blair Savage.
Could you say that again?
Blair Savage.
I hear a lightsaber.
Yes.
Yep.
All right, Person B.
WrestleMania 1.
All right, and why that one?
First WrestleMania and Hogan and Mr. T versus Piper and Orndorff.
All righty. All right, we're ready.
Quit playing with your lightsaber, Pat. I
We're only
told you
doing
you'll
one
go
pick?
Have
blind.
time to play around. All right, let me turn those back up. The lightsaber's killing you. Yep. All right. So Seth, what do you got for me?
Okay, so I accidentally said it, but you heard it for WrestleMania 8 because of Blair Savage.
Okay, it's a one-match show, so
Yeah.
this might not.
And WrestleMania 1 because it was the first and because of a Hogan match.
Oh, okay. So WrestleMania 8 from the Hoosier Dome. We're talking about Flair Savage for the WWE title, which came at about the halfway point of the show. The main event was Hogan Sid, and they billed it as a double main event. This also featured, and Hogan Sid is very forgettable, but it does have the return of the Ultimate Warrior, and I love the Ultimate Warrior, the character. And you had Papa Shango, who missed his cue. But this also had Undertaker versus Jake Roberts, where not a magical match, but, I mean, in terms of in-ring stuff, because Taker was still, like, slow, plodding. But you're talking about two characters that really relied on their, the just being that character and telling a story in the ring. And Jake was one of the best at doing that. And I thought that match was a lot of fun. You had the tombstone on the outside of the ring. But there was always – WrestleMania 8 is one of those weird ones because you have a flip side to every good. For the one main event, Flair Savage, it was really good. And the other main event, Hogan Sid, was not. For Undertaker Jake, on the flip side, unfortunately, Shawn Michaels versus El Matador, Tito Santana, that opened the show, was a headlock match. It was the battle of the headlocks. It's a tough one. WrestleMania 8 was pretty disappointing, but it has a lot of entertaining things to it. And, of course, you've got the magical commentary of Bobby Heenan and Gorilla Monsoon. But on the flip side, you got WrestleMania 1, which was the first ever. And it's hard to vote against the first ever because it was a success and it did well. The main event was that great kind of mayhem with Roddy Piper and Mr. Wonderful, Bob Orton on the outside. You had Hogan, Mr. T, Snuka. You also had Muhammad Ali was there. Everybody, I mean, it was incredible. But outside of that, the only real thing about WrestleMania 1 that really stands out is Andre and Big John Studd in that body slam challenge. And Bobby Heenan still ends up stealing the show in that moment. I love Bobby. Bobby's one of my favorites. And you have the commentary team of Gorilla and Jesse. And for me, for my money, I always preferred Gorilla and Bobby. Jesse always found a way to kind of make it about Jesse a lot of times, but he was really good at siding with making what the bad guys did okay. Rhodes hit Sapphire first, or whatever. Rhodes hit Sherry first, or whatever. Like, it was just, he was really that good. That is a tough call, though. But I am going to go with basically on this one, it's going to be tough. But which one can I rewatch? And I'm going to go with WrestleMania 8 on that one. So who gets the point?
Why would I tell you? I have person A and B and person B set up.
Well, because I don't know who does it on any given time.
Oh, true.
And so it's okay if I know as we go.
Okay. Our winner was Sin.
Sin with point number 1. All right. All right. All right. I'm going to take them off. Round 2. Here we go. And so Seth's going to be my fact checker, by the way, guys.
Okay.
So if I say something and anybody's like, wait, no, then Seth will check up on me. But, guys, in the chat, here's, Seth, what we can do. Anybody watching along on YouTube, get into the chat, vote on each round. So round 1 is WrestleMania 1 versus WrestleMania 8.
While we've got this up, you could just put a poll.
Well, no, because we're going to have to do it every round.
Oh,
I'm
true.
just going to let them vote it there. And
All
what
right.
we can do is, let's say we get to the end of the show and we're at a stalemate, we're at a tie. We can always use the chat as the tiebreaker. All right? So next round, Seth, I'm taking the headphones off. Take it away.
Alrighty. So, will person A tell me their WrestleMania?
Was it back to me?
Yes.
Okay. WrestleMania 6.
All right, and why that one?
Diamond Dallas Page driving the pink Cadillac.
Hard to argue against.
All right. I do agree with that one. All right,
I'm
person.
trying to throw him off.
Yeah. All right, person B.
WrestleMania 2000.
Ooh.
And that is for the tag team triple threat ladder match, as well as the triple threat between Benoit, Jericho, and Kurt Angle.
I'm gonna need you to repeat that second one for me.
Triple threat match between Benoit, Chris Jericho, and Kurt Angle.
I totally didn't spell that right, but that's okay. All right, we are ready.
All right. Hi there, guys. How was your Halloween last night?
Hello.
Halloween was great. Loved it. That was my
Alrighty.
costume right there on the screen. And for those listening on WANT, sorry. All right, Seth, what do you got for me?
All right, we have WrestleMania 6
Oh, come on. Someone's playing to the
because
judge.
of DDP's pink Cadillac.
Of all the reasons to pick 6, because DDP, that sounds like I could pick who made that call.
Can you?
Well, just on the why, I think I know who picked
Okay.
6. But Seth,
Okay.
go ahead.
And WrestleMania 2000 because of the tag team triple threat ladder match and the triple threat between Benoit, Chris Jericho, and Kurt Angle, who I'm guarantee I only spelled Kurt Angle's name right.
Probably. Well, see, from a personal standpoint, I already know who I'm voting for here. But the thing about WrestleMania 2000, so I remember that was the first pay-per-view I bought on my own when I was older. Like, before, it was like my buddy Greg and I would watch him over at his place. He would buy like the year bundle, which you could do back then. And I would always go over there. Well, this was the first one I bought. And I remember being so horribly disappointed with the majority of that pay-per-view. Like, honestly, there was the only singles match was Terry versus the Cat, and whoever like pushed the other one out of the ring first won. It was horrible. The only saving grace is the tag team ladder match, Dudley's versus Edge and Christian versus the Hardys, and then of course, yes, the triple threat, Benoit versus Angle versus Jericho.
Mhm.
Outside of that, it was a train wreck. Even the main event was an overbooked mess. It was The Rock, Mick Foley, Triple H, Big Show, and they couldn't even name the match right. It was, okay, listen to this. It was a fatal 4-way
What?
elimination match. How is it
Ooh.
fatal 4-way if it's elimination? Fatal 4-way
Mm-hmm.
means it's one fall.
Yeah.
No, it's an elimination. And then you had the stipulation a McMahon in every corner. Oh boy. I couldn't be more excited to have Linda out there. Like I like and Linda's the one you probably like the most. Like in terms like if you were to line them all up, put them like who would you want to actually meet? You'd probably Linda'd be up there. Like it'd probably be Linda and Steph, and then Shane and Vince would be at the end there. But
The rules
Yeah,
of the
it-
Elimination Chamber match.
but yeah, WrestleMania 2000 was a 2-match show.
Yeah.
I mean, your opening bout. I mean, just shoot me.
A 4-way. It's because they're both equal to 2 people.
But I mean, the opening bout, you had like Ice-T rapping the Godfather and D'Lo Brown to the ring, and this is literally all you hear: "Pimpin' ain't easy, man. Pimpin' ain't easy, man."
Oh my gosh.
Hey, that's a good song.
Oh, bull crap! I write better songs on the crapper. Oh my gosh. But WrestleMania 6,
Mm-hmm.
Demolition versus the Colossal Connection, and Haku carried that matchup because Andre couldn't. He couldn't really go. But you had the turn of Andre back from heel Andre to babyface, turning on Bobby Heenan. Beautiful moment. Hogan versus Warrior was 100 times better than I thought it had any right to be, which meant obviously Hogan was leading that match. And I still to this day love watching a good Warrior match, but his best matches, Hogan and Savage, and there's a reason for that. 6, I mean, no Taker yet, so that's a point off. We're a year away from Taker, but a lot of good action at WrestleMania 6. You had a great crowd at the Sky Dome in Toronto. Big, huge crowd. WrestleMania 2000 is a pond show, the Arrowhead Pond here in Anaheim, which is now the Honda Center. I'm not even going to go any further into it. It's WrestleMania 6 for me. If you were judging WrestleMania matches, WrestleMania 2000's tag team ladder match is right up there. As I like the original actually better than the one at 17, and that might be crazy to some people, but that match is truly what makes 2000 a watchable event, and even then I skip most of it. So WrestleMania 6, who got it on that one?
Sin again.
I was wrong. I thought the
He
fact
swerved you.
he did. I thought the
Georgia.
fact that he threw DDP driving the pink Cadillac, I thought that was a
Really
Doc
quick,
thing.
Really quick.
Yeah.
You keep going into detail. I want to know what your vote would be based off of the reasons alone.
Oh, you mean like
Like,
okay.
only going off of the Blair Savage versus First and Hogan.
It's probably because I would probably reverse it. So the first one would probably go. Well, no, it was still WrestleMania 8.
Okay.
And this one was the 2 matches versus DDP driving a pink Cadillac.
Yeah.
I'll take the 2 matches, bro.
All right.
Yeah,
Because I'm doing one. I'm doing one.
I
for
love
reasoning,
some
one for
DDP
you,
there,
and
but-
one for the popular vote.
Right. And I did make a good argument here, though, I feel, because if I had just gone personally, we all know WrestleMania 6 was the first pay-per-view I watched beginning to end. It changed my life and literally changed the trajectory of my life. I'm not here today. I might not even be alive today had it not been for the path that I started on because of WrestleMania 6. So, but I didn't want to go that route. I did give some legit reasons why. All right, next round. Here we go. I'm taking the headphones
Alrighty. Would person A like to tell me their WrestleMania?
WrestleMania 19, Jericho, Shawn Michaels.
All right. Person B, would you like to tell me your WrestleMania?
Well, Mine was 6. So I'll say DDP in the pink Cadillac too.
All right. If all right, we'll see how this goes. All right, we're ready. So we'd like to say it went very well last time. So
Yes.
so we're going with WrestleMania 6, DDP in the pink Cadillac, going against WrestleMania 19.
Wait, we can't do 2 WrestleManias in a
Jericho
row.
versus Shawn
Run
Michaels.
it back. We're running it back.
Do we need to? Do we need to?
Well, I was hoping for new WrestleManias every round.
Hey, you didn't tell
Well,
me.
you're gonna run into this because he picked his 15 and I picked my 15. So
Oh,
you're
so I guess I
you're
did. I
gonna
guess I
have-
should have. I guess I should have made that clear.
True.
So yeah. So we're gonna have to, cause yeah. So
Well, we already know WrestleMania
I
6
also
from the last
repeated
one.
a bunch on my list
okay.
because they're epic WrestleMania moments and they deserve more respect. So go ahead, make your picks.
All right.
All right. Well,
so
technically, your pick. Here's
I
the
am
thing.
Sin,
If it
I
gets,
do what I want.
here's the
That's
thing. This is
true.
why I made it. This is
They
why I
do
made
what
it.
they can. I do what I want.
This is why I made it different because we
Tell me I
have
can't.
reasoning, and different because based on your opinion, I don't know. Maybe WrestleMania 19 wins this time.
all right. All right.
But WrestleMania 6, based on reasoning, based on the reasons, Jericho, just based off Jericho versus DDP in a pink Cadillac.
No. Jericho did not. No.
No, like
You
the
gotta-
match, Jericho's match
oh,
versus
oh.
DDP's pink Cadillac entrance.
Okay, so
Like,
between WrestleMania 19
we
and
have
WrestleMania
different things.
6, WrestleMania 19, your headline is Angle versus Brock. You've also got Hogan versus McMahon, Jericho versus Shawn Michaels. In terms of in-ring, 19 is tough to beat. There is some interesting filler in 19. Then the segment with DDP in it, to be fair, is a horrible segment. Like the rhythm and blues thing, the rhythm and blues segment was bad. Like obviously WWE didn't want to invest in some nice in-ears because they were off the whole time. And of course, the team that came out to stop all of the madness was none other than the Bushwhackers, who, to be fair, were freaking over.
Okay, once you
was
pick
there,
your vote,
Pat.
I'd like
What's
to.
that?
I was there
Were you really?
at the Skydome. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Nice.
incredible. That's
Wait, once,
incredible.
I remember the reactions of the crowd when they came out.
Yeah,
I
oh,
remember
they were
when
big.
the Bushwhackers came out.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah. No, it was Bushwhackers were over despite everything.
Yeah.
The Bushwhackers are over. Had the record in the Royal Rumble, by the way, of fastest elimination for a long time till Santino's just absolutely brilliant. Like half a second elimination happened. But yeah, I think it was Butch who just got in the ring. Earthquake was waiting for him, just grabbed him, walked him to the other side of the ring, and threw him out. And Butch didn't even miss a step. He kept doing this
Kept walking.
the
kept
entire
walking.
time. It was
Yep.
amazing. This is actually tough.
I'd like to point out something funny once you make your vote.
Okay. This is actually very tough because I will say this. Again, Hogan McMahon was so good. It was not good from a technical standpoint, but in terms of a story that was being told and the way those two beat the living hell out of each other. And it has one of the greatest visual moments in all of wrestling when you have and Vince and Jim Ross calling him the devil himself, Vince McMahon peering up over the ring apron covered in blood. I mean, I even have it saved as I'm putting together these new. I'm creating new opening videos for the shows to go with the theme songs. That is a moment that one of the first moments I went to grab. It's that good. Brock missing the shooting star press will never be forgotten. Jericho and Shawn Michaels is an all-time match. The only downfall to 19 is Booker T and Triple H. It was the wrong ending. And the way it was ended, with Triple H hitting the pedigree and then taking half a day to cover him, just horrible. And I felt Taker was done wrong at 19. He got the good intro and everything, but yeah, what's up, Sin?
Pat, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, go for it.
But you know what was not done wrong?
What's that?
DDP driving the pink Cadillac at WrestleMania 6. Thank you, I'm done.
And it was his pink Cadillac.
Yes.
Yeah.
Does he still have it? That's the real
But
question.
and the other thing about 19 was that was the finale of Stone Cold versus The Rock. But it was not on par with what they'd done in the past. I can't take out of it my personal thoughts. 6 is still better than 19 for me. So the winner is 6.
All right. And based on the reasonings, who do you think would win? Jericho versus Shawn Michaels or DDP?
I always have to go with a match.
Okay.
I love your DDP, and I think your Pink Cadillac is awesome. But Jericho and Michaels, that was a masterclass in professional wrestling.
All right. So our winner is Doc.
Doc finally gets on the board.
Points on the board.
I'd like to point out how the first time we had WrestleMania 6 on, you were going on about all the cool stuff in it. This time, you decided to start going off on all the weird and stuff to laugh at on this one.
Well, I got to change it up.
You're like, oh man,
Sour Patch
this was
Kids.
great. They had all this cool stuff, and this time it's like, oh, and then they had this, and it was so funny. It was like, oh, that was so dumb.
Because I don't want to repeat myself, so I got to come up with something else. So it's kind of like every time you guys do your thing, I'm finding something else to play with over here.
Yes.
Like I did shoot my my grappling gun at the camera. So, but I do like playing with my little Infinity Gauntlet here. But all right, here we go. Next round. So far, Sin 2, Doc 1.
Yep. So far,
So this
actually-
tells you that I'm not listening
Yeah.
in because Doc, it'd be 3-0 right now.
and actually, all
How dare
three
you.
of our votings are the exact same, except all different orders. So on the first one, reason you chose Sin, but based on reasoning alone, you
sorry,
you
go
chose Doc, so it was 1-1, and then Popular chose Sin, but then the next match it was also Sin for the regular, but then it was Sin for reasoning.
We're getting the
and
rules
then it
of
was
the Beyblade
then it was
Elimination
Sin for
Challenge all over
Popular.
again.
So it was all different, and now it's all tied for all different reasons. So everyone has chosen pretty much roughly different for each round.
All right. Well, it looks like Lewis thinks WrestleMania 2000 should have won that round. You're wrong, sir.
Yeah,
right.
so we have a 2-1, 2-1, 2-1.
Your opinion is wrong. All
All
right, here we
right.
go. Next round.
Hey, I just want to go on record as
Yes.
saying that you picked Diamond Dallas Page at WrestleMania 6 both times. So technically, since that was my pick first and Doc copied me,
Oh,
I'm going to take that as a half a win. Thank you. I'm done.
all right.
I copied you.
There you go.
Yep.
2.5
Copied.
2.5 to half. How about that?
Trendsetter.
Trent,
Trend-
Next
Yeah.
thing you know, you're gonna say you've been inspiring all my music and all these albums.
Well,
I've
wait.
been
Don't
putting
even get me
out.
started on that.
Sin, I was
Don't
gonna
even get
say,
me started on that, Doc.
Sin, haven't you
know
not?
the truth, Doc.
Yeah.
Doc, didn't you send me a message saying this song is dedicated to and inspired by Sin? Didn't you
Did
say that
I?
to me? Yeah,
Did
I'm
I?
pretty sure. The whole album was, wasn't it?
Pat.
No,
Pat,
that one's
ask
coming
your
out.
fans.
That's
Ask your
the
fans if you think Doc Haywood came up with a theme like Haywood in the Hood.
I
After
mean, I didn't-
Aloha Doc,
If the hood is a
Doc
hoodie,
Haywood, he came up with Haywood in the Hood.
I was watching
Thank
a
you,
lot
I'm
of
done.
Good Times.
Haywood in
What?
the hood.
I was watching a lot of Good Times at the time.
Bro, I had never seen Good Times a day in your life.
Dynamite! Come on.
Haywood,
Oh,
Haywood in the
okay.
Hood is about the
Buffalo
story
Butt,
of
I watched
Haywood
Good
meeting
Times.
Sim.
I don't. Oh my gosh. Help.
Seen your wallet, Doc. I've never seen a black card in there.
Okay, I don't have one of those.
All right. Next round.
All right. Well, person A,
He's
please
the little
give me.
Richard of this game. Everybody's stealing from me.
Well, person A, please give me their WrestleMania.
That's you, Sin.
I know. Do I want to do it this early? No. WrestleMania 11.
All right, and why?
LT and Bam Bam.
All right, person B. Would you give me
WrestleMania 20,
Alrighty.
and that one's for Guerrero versus Angle, and Benoit versus Triple H versus Michaels.
All right, we are ready.
Dang,
So,
that puzzle box is a ripoff. I didn't get dragged to hell or ripped to shreds or nothing.
all right, your first one is WrestleMania 20 because of Eddie Guerrero and
Kurt Angle.
yeah, I couldn't read my writing for some
There's
reason.
quite a bit to like about 20. Go ahead.
And Benoit versus Triple H versus Michaels.
Right. Main event.
And then you have WrestleMania 11 because of LT versus Bam Bam.
Oh, I'm gonna poke my eye out. WrestleMania 11 is one of my least favorite WrestleManias of all time.
And
It
then
just
there's
is.
WrestleMania
I'm
20.
WrestleMania 11. Number one, I didn't like that Bam Bam and LT was the main event. It spoke of desperation from WWE at the time. The real saving grace of 11 is Diesel versus Shawn. They went out there knowing they weren't the main event, and Shawn's ego said, "We're taking this one, baby," and they did. And it was probably Diesel's best match he ever had. Shawn sold like crazy, and it was really, really good. Brett and Backlund. Ugh. I think that's the one with Piper screaming, "Do you give up? Do you give up?" Like, it was just bad. Yeah, I don't even want to think about 11 very much. I mean, I got to give credit where credit is due. LT obviously put in a lot of work. Bam Bam carried him to something that was decent. It was just, I just don't like the idea that the celebrity with no experience in WWE main evented the biggest event in wrestling. And WrestleMania 20 will always be remembered by me as the return of the dead man. That was where we said goodbye to Biker Taker, which I actually enjoyed, and welcomed back the dead man with Paul Bearer. And I'll never forget when we were watching it, and oh yeah, and I mean, everybody lost their minds.
Mm-hmm.
We did unfortunately get Goldberg versus Brock, but I wasn't expecting a classic from them anyway. But the crowd hijacking it makes it entertaining. So Angle and Guerrero is never a bad idea. It's always a good matchup. Guerrero is one of my all-time favorites. Benoit Triple H and Shawn Michaels was a great main event, capping the night off. 20 also had a very entertaining Rock and Sock connection versus Ric Flair, Randy Orton, and Batista, which had some really funny Ric Flair Rock moments in it. So I'm going to go with 20. 20 is my vote. I mean, I was before I even started explaining why. Very easily.
For reasoning, would you also pick 20?
The reasoning was what? The two matches versus
LT versus Bam Bam.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right. So we have an all-around tie because you just picked Doc, which for reason gives us a 2-2. For your personal, it gives us 2-2, and for popular, we have 2-2.
Dang it! I gotta do
I
better.
want to recount on that.
Doc. I think Doc got it all. Doc.
I gotta start.
Doc, you just got 3 votes in a row for all versions.
I'll start
by the
looking
way.
at the screen and I'll see if I can read lips.
I want to recount on that.
Yeah, Seth, run the numbers again. Run the numbers. Make sure they're accurate.
No. Only because at the time, WWF was in such a slump in the ratings, and LT and Bam Bam single-handedly brought non-WWE fans over to WWE,
True.
damn near doubling their ratings from the previous WrestleMania, just because of that match.
No,
And in
I'll
that
give credit
same
there.
show, you got to see Shawn versus Diesel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a good argument from the business standpoint.
From the
Huh?
business
That's a very good
standpoint, yeah.
It's a very good argument.
You also
No.
have we also had a whole Donald Trump segment in WrestleMania 20, so with Jesse Ventura, and where Jesse talks about getting a pro wrestler into the White House. I remember that too. Lewis Williams, 1993, says PCW main event Doc versus Sin.
No.
Well, I don't know.
No,
Doc's
no,
out here
no, no,
calling out all the PCW guys with his social media posts, talking about how he's out working everybody.
Hey, I'm not talking about Sin because he works out with me. So obviously he's working out at least as much as the commentary guy.
All right.
So the other guys I'm talking to, Buck James, talking to you.
All right, Lewis, whoever just commented on that, pay me. That's one thing I learned from Doc. You want me in the ring against him? Pay me. I don't accept EBT.
No, okay.
We'll live stream it so that way we can all get paid.
Exactly.
There you go.
Yep.
I still need to step into a ring.
Yeah.
That's my dream. That's one of that's my main dream. We talked about with Owen Carter on Warriors Unleashed last week, which is I've always wanted to do a concert, like a legit I'm headliner concert, sing in front of thousands of people. But very close second is
All right.
I've always wanted to get into the ring.
You versus Wee Man.
Hey, Doc Haywood versus Pat Sims, PCW Last Man Standing 2026. You got till February to get in shape, Pat.
All right.
That'd be a 10-second last man standing.
Sin, I don't know if this is true. Lewis says he's your brother.
Huh?
Lewis says, I am Sin's brother.
Says Lewis Williams, 1993. I am Sin's brother.
I don't claim anybody unless they pay me.
There you go. There you go. All right, Seth. Here we go. Next round. And this might.
All right.
We'll see where this goes. We might have 2 more in us, but we got to make sure I don't want this to end in a tie. So here
so
we go.
far it is.
Yeah, I know. No, I got to
Yeah.
fix that. I'll be.
All right.
Just wink at me when I'm talking about Sin's WrestleMania. All right, here we go.
Okay. Person.
I don't want him to hurt me.
Alrighty. Person A, would you give me a WrestleMania?
No, don't do it.
God, now I need to think about it because I'm getting screwed over here. Brock versus Goldberg beat out Lawrence Taylor and Bam Bam. That's crazy. 14.
All right. And why 14? I mean, why?
Shawn and Stone Cold. The beginning of the Stone Cold era.
All right. You still don't know who picked it. All right, person B, would you give me your WrestleMania?
18.
Okay, and why that one?
Hogan versus Rock.
Mother bitch. Hey, Doc,
Yeah.
is your door unlocked? I'm on my way.
All right.
It's locked and
we
Jack's
are
awake.
we are ready for you. We're having a
Tells me how to
we have a
care.
pretty big feud going on.
All right, what do you got?
All right, as you heard, WrestleMania
Your-
14.
I did hear that.
Reason
yes.
why Shawn Michaels versus Stone Cold.
The Austin era begins. Yeah.
All right, your second option, WrestleMania 18, because of Hogan versus Rock.
Oh, that's tough. 18.
Mystic choice.
18's a tough one. Because Austin Rock is like the definition of just pro wrestling magic. The crowd, you got, and the behind the scenes of that, if it's true, what I've heard, makes it even better. Because you have Rock on one side that wants to rehearse everything and have everything down, very kind of macho man-ish, where you've got your beats down. And then you got Hogan that never liked doing that, who always liked feeling the crowd in the moment. And I think that when they got into it, the crowd changed everything. And Hogan's way kind of became the way that they ran that matchup. And they started it off the way that The Rock wanted, but then quickly transitioned. And Hogan hulking up at 18 was I had goosebumps during that matchup. The problem was that should have been the main event because anything after was just dead in the water. Triple H and Jericho couldn't match it. No matter what they did, they weren't gonna. The crowd had already gotten rid of all of their energy with Rock and Hogan. Scott Hall in Austin was it was there, but it just, you had Kevin Nash on the outside. He wasn't doing anything. So the NWO didn't really do well on this night. It was DDP. I'm surprised no one said it was DDP's only WrestleMania match, because that was DDP versus Christian, with DDP walking away with the European title. You had Rob Van Dam versus William Regal. There's some good stuff at 18. What the other one's 14, right?
Yep.
Man, that's the first time Pete Rose got on Kane's bad side. Taker versus Kane Part 1, with Taker's, for me, the greatest entrance of Undertaker, with that great outfit that he wore with the druids and the flames and everything. It was so good. You've got Austin versus Shawn. Again, the Austin era begins. 14 was a good one. The tag team battle royal won by LOD 2000, which is Legion of Doom, and Sonny is their manager. Entertaining stuff there. The Rock versus Ken Shamrock. It's good, but I think 18 is very much kind of if I'm going to watch it, I'm watching it specifically to watch The Rock and Hogan, and I'm good with that and nothing else. Whereas 14, I kind of have a little bit more fun with that one from beginning to end. So it's hard for me to say, but I'm going with, because I'm trying to think what Taker did at 18. Oh, Taker was Flair. Oh, that changes a lot. Dang it. Taker Flair was so good. Flair had lost his mojo. And Taker said, I want Flair. And Flair picks that as being one of those things that got Flair back into the game. And you get one of the greatest Arn Anderson spine busters ever given. Oh, dang it. That just threw me. Oh, I'm having a problem choosing here. Oh. I'm going. Oh man. Oh God. This one is hurting my heart. But I'm gonna go with what I was gonna say before.
18.
Taker and Kane, Austin, Michaels, Rock, Shamrock. I'm going with 14. The Austin era has begun.
Alrighty. Based on reasoning, what would you pick?
Well, so Rock, Hogan versus Austin and Michaels?
Yeah, Stone versus Shawn Michaels.
Stone Cold versus Michaels versus Hogan versus Rock.
Yeah.
It's Hogan versus Rock all day, every day. That one match, if I'm picking matches, that one match is fantastic.
Okay.
But overall, I'm going 14.
Okay. So, overall...
Who's hating me right now?
Overall, you just gave a point to Sin. Sin was WrestleMania 14.
Okay.
Based on the reasons, you gave it to Doc, and the popular vote has given it to Doc.
Okay. Universal throws in there
13.
One of his, I guess he's throwing in a one, which is an underrated WrestleMania, in my opinion. It doesn't get a lot of love from people, but WrestleMania 13, which featured Bret Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. 14 may have been where the official Austin era begun, but Bret versus Austin was for me, the greatest double turn in WWE. It was fantastic. It was such a great match. I thought Taker and Sid wasn't the worst. I felt a little bad for Taker.
It was better than Hogan and Sin.
Oh, for sure. For sure. And we got to end the night with Taker as champ. So whenever that happens, you got me. That's good. I actually thought the Chicago street fight was a lot of fun. That was LOD and Ahmed Johnson versus the Nation of Domination. And that takes a lot when an Ahmed Johnson impresses me. And they walked out with the kitchen sink. I thought that was so clever. They're going to use everything but the kitchen sink. No, they brought out the kitchen sink. 13's a lot of fun. You had Vader and Mankind versus the British Bulldog and Owen Hart. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff at 13. I think people sleep on it. I thought 13 was actually the beginning of truly the Attitude Era for WWE. All right. I think that's going to do it. The actual winner is based on who gets the most points, and the points are based off the WrestleManias that I picked. So the winner of today's show and the first ever WrestleMania tournament is Sin. The one and only from PCW, wearing his Seahawks gear. Are they playing?
Going to the dark side.
Are they playing today? When's their next game?
No, they're playing tomorrow.
Tomorrow. All right.
There's Sunday Night Football tomorrow.
Oh, so I get to see that on ESPN.
Yep.
Or no? Is that on ESPN? No, they're Monday night.
That's on I think it's on CBS.
Okay. All right. So don't forget to catch the Seahawks tomorrow night on CBS on Sunday Night Football. Ladies and gentlemen, our winner, of course, Sin. And Sin, I will be in touch. I'll be letting you know exactly what our prize is going to be for you. And we'll give you options of things that you can choose from, but we'll definitely get that out to you. So congratulations, ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Sin, of the first ever WrestleMania tournament of what? The score was 3-2, Seth?
Yes.
We
Sin
did
had
5
3,
rounds,
Doc
best
had
of
2.
5. That worked out so well.
Hey, Doc.
Yeah.
No hard feelings, right?
No, never.
My time. My time.
I'm always happy when Sin wins, even if I lose,
All
because then I don't get my ass beat.
there you
I
go.
thought you were gonna get me with that Rock Hogan, but then I remembered that most people don't even remember what the main event of that show was.
Right. Right.
So-
It takes a special kind of nerd like me to remember those kind of details. So, all right, Sin, before we sign out, is there anything you'd like to promote? Anything you'd like to get out there to the Sims Nation? The time is yours.
Off top, I'm gonna talk about PCW Limelight on YouTube, our weekly show. We put a lot of hard work and energy into making these shows entertaining for everybody. I know Doc puts in hours upon hours
Yep.
upon hours of editing and putting the show together. Zach Reeves a clown, but he pays the bills. The heavyweight champion Corey Blakesley. You're not really the champ because you didn't beat me. So I'm keeping my my torch over here as the best big man in the business. You want it? Come and get it on your own, by yourself, just like I got it. You ain't nothing. You just tall. Check out PCW online, PCWNorCal.com. I'm on there. Check us out on Facebook, all the links, everything. It's PCW over everybody.
Yep.
And in this game, it was Sin over Doc. Welcome to the Positively Pat Sin Show.
Oh, I like that.
Oh,
That was good. I like
Oh.
that. I tell you what, I never wanted to live in NorCal before until I started seeing PCW because I got to make a trip up there to go see some PCW live and in person. It's awesome on YouTube, but I can just imagine how amazing it would be to be there in person. All right, Doc, the time is yours. Go ahead, my friend.
We got a great episode of Limelight coming up today at noon. Our Inter-California champion, Sergio Santana, makes an open challenge, and the man who answers the challenge blows the roof off the Orville Convention Center. You're going to want to see who answers that
Ooh.
challenge. And then we've got an excellent match with what I like to call mongrel tag teams, where we smash two guys together who don't normally team up. So we've got the last king of professional wrestling, Manny Roa, teaming up with Nathan Brick, and they are taking on the bad boy Voice LeGrand and the Ghetto Grizzly, Big Don Stockton. Plus, we have got the YouTube premiere of my music video, Docula. You are going to want to check that out if you didn't see it on my Facebook page. So a lot of fun stuff coming up on Limelight this week. And of course, you will want to stay tuned so you can see that match between Sin and Bad News Blakesley. That will be in 2 weeks on Limelight. You don't want to miss that one. And also, I would just suggest, I'm not putting anything out there definitively, but November 13th, Sims Nation, you might want to tune in to The Price is Right and check out Dr. Haywood in the audience.
Yes, we finally got a date.
November 13th, I will definitely be in the audience, so you
Hey.
will want to watch that show for sure.
You know what came out November 13th many years ago?
What?
The Gummy Bear album.
Wait, the Gummy Bear album.
You know the
Like
song
for the cartoon?
You know the song like I'm a Gummy
Oh,
Bear?
the song. I'm a gummy bear. Yes.
Look
yeah.
for our Gummy Bear album in stores on November
This is why Seth is our
13th.
info guy. So that he can go, oh, Doc's going to be on The Price is Right on the 13th. You know what else happened that day? Oh, I'm a gummy bear.
Look for our Gummy Bear album
So
in
now-
stores on November 13th.
Thanks for that.
So
Pearls of wisdom.
after November 13th, the Positively Pat Sims show will have 2 people who have been on game shows.
Well, I'm just saying I was in the audience. I
I
wasn't
know.
necessarily on the show.
Right. I can say that.
NDAs and all that.
I can say that I was a contestant
Yes.
on Let's Make a Deal, And that is how my family and I get around in my 2021 Ford Ranger.
He didn't keep the really cool car they gave him.
The POS they gave me. Yeah, they gave me. I won a Ford EcoSport, and at first it looked like it looked like an SUV, and I remember thinking like, oh, okay. And then I get to the dealership and I'm like, ugh. I'm like, I want that one. I want that truck right over there. And you can do that. If it's a new car, they'll just take the money they would have gotten for the other one and put it towards that. And then I took my SUV, I traded it in, and I have a dirt cheap monthly payment. Well, I mean, in comparison, dirt cheap monthly payment for my truck. And it's been worth every penny. I'll have had it for almost 4 years now, coming up here. So awesome, Doc, though. I can't wait to see it on there. And it probably won't be right away, but I'm sure it will be available on Paramount Plus as well. That's how I got to see my episode, was on Paramount Plus. So very, very cool. All right, guys. Seth has been helping me out. He's done his first episode of Honest Reviews, and I'm thinking that that's going to be the first one we show on our Wednesday night premiere of Honest Reviews. So I'm super excited to show Seth's honest review of the 2007 Michael Bay Transformers movie. And then the week after that, then I think we'll air my next Star Wars honest review, which would be for The Empire Strikes Back. So interesting to see where I rate that one in comparison to episodes 1 through 4 that I've already done. And then we'll follow that up with Return of the Jedi. So got a lot of great stuff next week. Warriors Unleashed returns on Friday night at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. And we'll have another fantastic episode of the Positively Pat Sims Show. Lastly, guys, make sure, get on over to positivelypatsims.printful.me. And that's where you can find all of your Positively Pat Sims merch. You can get this hat right here. You can get this shirt plus all of these individual logo shirts. Doc, I even took your quote and put it on a shirt. And because I didn't know it was Doc had been saying it, and when we started saying it, I stole it from Mark and Brian. But Doc will help me. Doc will help me out here. But we are but humble citizens. The one thing I love on my merch, let me just say this before we close out, is our yoga mats. Like,
take it easy, and if it's easy, take it west.
No, mine says take it east.
Oh, take it east.
Right.
My bad. I switched it up.
I did.
And if it's easy, take it.
I had a mistake on my first yoga mat I made, but I've corrected that. But I'm very particular about my yoga mats because I sweat quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I go on the DDPY ones are nice and cushy and stuff, but I slip and slide on them like crazy. So I started with cork mats. That helped a little bit. But these ones are a different kind of material that are super soft, super nice. And I don't have to wear yoga paws on my feet anymore. I do wear them on my hands because I do the bear blocks, and that helps me keep my grip on the bear blocks. But that's it. And so I really love these yoga mats. All right, guys, we're going to close out the show. I want to say a huge, huge thank you to the stars of PCW, Sin, and the Diamond Standard, Doc Haywood. Doc, you've been a part of this show for quite a bit now, and I appreciate you. Sin, it was great having you on. Seth.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Seth, my co-host. You had to get a loud noise in. I want to thank Seth for
waited to the end.
his new role here on the show. He's doing a fantastic job. And for all of you that tuned in to the Positively Pat Sim Show on WANT, where if you want it, we got it, and streaming live right here on YouTube and jumped in the live chat, thank you so much, Sims Nation. It's always a pleasure to be here with you. I absolutely love you guys. You make this worth doing every single week. So, from all of us here at the Positively Pat Sim Show, take it easy. And Doc, help me out here. If it's easy,
take it twice.
Take it twice, people. So long, everybody. Have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you Wednesday for the premiere of Honest Reviews. So long, everybody.
The lights are dim, but the room still hums with the echoes of laughter